Hi, my name is MK Balaji, and I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of Seamless HR. Over the last 2 decades, I've had the opportunity to be with some incredible organizations from really small startups to really large organizations like Freshworks, which apparently went for an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. And over the years, I think I've been most importantly a big student of the entire GTM motion. And I think it has always been fascinating how there is a startling similarity between the anatomy of our body and the GTM motion. And I thought it'll be a good topic for us to discuss and share my opinion about how these two have amazing similarities. All right, so where do we start? Is of course with the eyes, the vision and the long term aspirations of the organization is super key because we've always noticed that organizations that are focused with a vision and their ability to say no to a lot of distractions are the ones that have apparently gone on to really create amazing stuff. And especially in an environment like today, where people are constantly looking for fast, non-linear growth, the more you have a clear vision, the more you're having lesser distractions. Your opportunity to really go achieve things faster becomes higher. So the vision and the long-term alignment is there. And of course, with that comes the brain of it, right? How do you think of the strategy? How do you align what you see as a vision to how do you think of the strategy and how do you put it into action? Right? And there's so many nuances to it, and that's what makes it so beautiful. This is as beautiful as the brain itself, where there is the left brain, which is analytical, the right brain, which is creative, there's a sense of memory, there's a sense of it kind of connects to everything in the body, right? So I think the strategy is something that should drive the rest of the entire GTM motion. And sometimes strategy is often overlooked as time wasted. Strategy is often overlooked as the time missed out on execution. But then the whole idea is about without strategy, this is like trying to throw a bunch of balls on the air, hoping that a lot of them would land in a small cup. Right. So the strategy is the funnel. So I think it's super important, and I think brain does a beautiful is a great synonym of that. What else are we talking about? We're talking about your hands. Say, for instance, hands could be your sales motion. How are you thinking of sales, right? And this is really getting into the weeds of it, making things happen, right? And if you're looking at limbs on the whole, the legs are more like your GTM channels. How are you thinking of your distribution? Is it inside sales? Is it field sales? Is it freemium or is it PLG? Is it um, so there's so much that you can explore. And I think how you leverage this strategy, for example, you realize that this market entry is going to cost you a lot. Should you go channels? Is there a mid-market play? Is there an enterprise play? So that's why the strategy which says that my vision is to go after this segment of customers in this region who are looking for this. That kind of vision and strategy alignment is super important for the legs, because you need to know where you're going. You need to know how you're going so that you can actually go there. Right. So I think that represents brilliantly well in terms of how that can be. And and the senses are marketing, right? The entire sense, the sense organs that we're thinking of, what you smell, what you speak, what you hear, is all beautifully blended as the other senses is beautifully the marketing, because it's just not marketing, right? It's the brand perception, which I think is super critical and is often, and many people think about building. I believe in building the brand on the first day. Whenever you're thinking of anything, building a brand the first day to me is like 101 table stakes. So that's that piece. Now, often overlooked are the other internal organs, right? Like, for instance, there's for the like there's a liver. There is a which can be the customer success, or it could be the operations, and there's the lungs, which is actually customer success, because it's like the how do you retain things, right? And there is, of course, the kidneys that are the operations. And the reason I'm really going into the depth of it is just like our body, the end of how we understand and appreciate GTM is how much we want to go into the depth of understanding the body, right? The body has such beautiful nuances to it. It's got so much of complex structures in it, and GTM is very similar to that, right? And of course, the heart of it is, of course, the people who are able to do all of this, right? Because without people who are able to have the right culture, who are not able to understand the strategy and vision of the organization, the GTM organization is going to fall flat. So, and I think what if there's one thing that I would leave with you in the whole scheme of things is, do not, just like how as you in your body, you would not be okay if, um, say maybe the kidney is not functioning. You wouldn't say that's fine, we'll fix it later, right? So it's very important to be aware what contributes to your overall health, and why the functioning of each organ, and most importantly, how each organ feeds into the other organ, is super important. And that's what is going to differentiate your GTM. Say, for instance, Usain Bolt, Roger Federer, me, all of us, the God has kind of blessed with a relatively the same body and the anatomy. But what's made them great physically is their ability of discipline, is their ability to constantly improve, it's their ability to be relentless. And I think at GTM, it's nothing different, right? Because we're talking about how you can be aware of the anatomy of go to market and be relentless and be conscious and be aware of it is going to differentiate the good to great. So, those are predominantly my thoughts. And there is a beautiful, never ending analogy that we can keep speaking about GTM and our body. So, and I believe at Seamless, we are at this beautiful state where it's a beautiful kid which is grown from an infant to a kid state. And here is a time where many of the organs are becoming better for scalability, for reliability, and we want to feed the right things with food. We want to ensure that there is the right amount of physical and mental awareness that this organization has. And fortunately, I can certainly say that the heart, which is the people of Seamless, are exceptional. That there's only one way that we can head from here, and that is being the poster child of African SaaS in the global market.